Right, this is called espresso. Here's a short ramble I wish to recite, ever more hopeful of your attention, concerning powers of persuasion, insight, a sprinkling of fanciful invention, and a dawn meeting at Stansted Airport. An anecdote really, nothing much more though its recitation may land in court and provoke the wrath of the hard right core. But caution be damned, let's cut to the chase. I've been up drinking espresso all night, which, apart from causing my heart to race, occasioned a gabbling, magically bright, in a taxi taking me to Stansted from where I was flying to Italy. The cabbie hung on every word I said, and I very nearly, temptingly, took up his offer to waive the fare. He, having decided to quit driving, on my advice, to go study somewhere and train for a career in skydiving. Fair offer refused. I bade him goodbye and, feeling hungry and thirstily dry, my wife and I passed through security and entered an all but empty cafe. I purchased some toast and a brew of tea, and who should I see, not 5 yards away, but Tommy Robinson, Luton's proud son, for many a patriot man of the year, sitting alone at a table for one, dabbily decked out in Stone Island gear. Nodding my head by way of good morning, but giving no sign of recognition lest he mistake good morning for fawning. I took my tray of airport nutrition to a nearby table, and there I sat, still in a state of caffeinated elation, bombarding my wife with endless chit-chat, or rather compelling information. Excuse me, mate, came a voice in my ear. I'd sorry in truth, but would you mind if I join you? I'd really like to hear your views on the patriotically inclined Democratic Football Lads Alliance, Reform UK and Right Wing Defiance. Hence, Tommy, given my invitation, joined us, whereupon I gave him my views on those topics, along with immigration, the woke left agenda, BBC News, Palestine, Trump, Islamist, and Farage. Tommy looked vacant, decidedly grey, seemingly lost in deep thought by and large. He certainly didn't have much to say. In any case, even when the tannoy blared, "Well, Mr. Yaxley Leonard, please take free." He simply, as if mesmerised, stared, oblivious to the fact he was late. I gave him a nudge to make him aware. He gazed at me uncomprehendingly, then all of a sudden leapt from his chair and ran, I assumed, to gate number 3. Later on, YouTube, a podcast I saw of Tommy announcing a change of name. "Tommy Robinson, from now, is no more," he said, and his voice sounded much the same as the Tommy I'd met and spoken to. As for appearance, there'd been a sea change. His nails were painted, his hair was dyed blue, and his hippie attire was equally strange. Gone was Stone Island, both coat and sweater, ditched for a caftan and a jumble sail top with a printed slogan, "I stand with Greta." Whoa. His cheesecloth trousers from a charity shop complemented his open-toed sandals, which in turn showed off his feet to perfection. His wrists were adorned with colourful bangles. His bearing was of poetic reflection. Thus, in every way, Tommy was gone. Timothy Ribbons stood now in his place. The ugly duckling, if not quite a swan, was clearly no longer a right-wing head case. Today, he's a highly respected mentor, a socialist muse for aspiring MPs. He works as a volunteer at a centre that offers asylum to all refugees. Timothy Ribbons. Whoever would have guessed? Such was the charm of the words that came out as I aired my views upon his request. His transformation was never in doubt. And if that sounds like a load of old toffee, I'd gladly discuss it over a coffee. Thank you very much. Right, all a little bit political, and I'm sorry about that. Merry Christmas. This is called the culture of R, as in our country, because this is sort of people of a certain
Protect our women.
They do insist on spending fucking our, don't they? I haven't got a clue why. Anyway, the culture of R. Government, trade and media controlled by corporations funding war. Services, infrastructure, sole majority populations poor. Waves of asylum seekers flood the minds of the readers of racist crud. Populist views of refugees spew from the maws of Labour MPs. What's the fucking point in voting now? All we get is corporation greed, nourished by the things that people need, traded for weapons by pigs in power while the poor celebrate St George's Day. The hooligan culture of R holds sway. Underfunded dwellers deflect and implore. This is our country, this is our land. Reformers say there's a two-tier law. The willfully stupid don't understand. Fascists propagate, spread hate, manipulate, blame and make claims of when things were great. Back when the capitalists were cruel, workasses fall, poor orphans ate rule. Grew up to face machine gun fire. And the descendants of all concerned remembered, then forgot the lesson learned. Pledged allegiance to yet another liar. This is our country, patriots say. 3 cheers for Nigel. Hip, hip, hooray! Could this be the end of which Jim sang? The doors of deception are open wide. Does the human race deserve a big bang for letting corporations override the expert advice on climate change and the possibility of nukes long range? Fired by the angry bearer of the brunt of a trade war instigated by a cunt. I know there's no God, but that don't stop me praying for a mass epiphany, whereupon 8 billion people see this planet is run by a very close shot of elitists living in ivory towers. Get educated, make the future ours, scupper the plan before it's too late. Reality doesn't care and won't wait. Thank you.
Woo!
Right, last one. And it's about Lucy Connolly. Do you remember Lucy Connolly?
No!
Yeah, but some fucking political prison and all that bollocks, you know. Anyway, and it's called simply Connolly. This is less a poem than a view in rhyme, pertaining to a racist doing time for posting online her evident desire to see asylum centres set afire with the occupants still inside, leading to a jail sentence upon her pleading guilty to inciting racial hatred. A Category A offence, the judge said, before giving her 31 months, no less. And media barons of populist press, along with purveyors of far-right reach, henceforth decried the laws of free speech. However, her time inside was decreased by 60%, and she was released, albeit still under supervision, upon having spent 10 months in prison. And very soon after, the self-proclaimed political prisoner and unashamed racist appeared on stage at Reform UK's conference to rapturous applause and praise. Attendees raucously clapping along to what sounded like a Gary Glitter song. And then came a speech and an interview that I couldn't listen to all the way through, but it seems to me, from what little I heard, she obviously didn't regret one word of her inflammatory tweet, which led me to conclude maybe instead of jail, she should have done community service and had the opportunity to meet the innocent recipients of carnage, starting with the residents of Southport, helping to clean up the mess she helped create with her thoughtless address. As it is, jail time for posting racial hate has led to a deflective debate on free speech, an increase in racism and an outbreak of faux patriotism akin to celebrating being a Brit by sticking a flag in a pile of dog shit. Thank you.
Woo!